Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Open Ultra League, looking about the best Pokemon you can use there and the best teams you can use. And in general, usually I take a look at the other kind of Ultra Leagues we have available because I'm not the biggest fan of Open Ultra League. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that a bit later in the video. And in general, in the Pokemon, I'm going to show you which you kind of have to have. It's really difficult to build good teams here without XLs, saying that already. I did a video, I think, about the Remix Cup for the last season. This is kind of still accurate. Like, some Pokemon are not banned anymore there, but like usually like the team should still work there. So you want to check that out if you're more interested in the other league. But other than that, I would appreciate if you leave a like. Those videos are always like a lot of work, and leaving one like helps out a lot with recommending that video to other people. So thanks for that, and going right into the Pokemon. The first Pokemon we're gonna take a look at gonna be Registeel. In general, like the theme of this video gonna be the first 10 months gonna be really normal Pokemon you're gonna see usually or quite a lot. In the last 5 Pokemon I'm gonna showcase, out of the 15 gonna be Pokemon that are a bit less common, maybe like a bit newer and have a lot of play. But here, first Pokemon, Registeel, number 1 on Poke. Yeah, if you have an XL one, it's really good, but you don't even need the XL one for that. If you have not an XL, Hundo is also fine. Hundo was like the normal Registeel you usually had for Ultra League before the XL version came out. So maybe you still have that. Definitely a good Pokemon. Still super solid because like on Focus Blast, Trash Can is a good moveset and very bulky. So one of the best Pokemon in the meta right now. Pokemon number 2 are gonna be Stunfisk. Stunfisk here are gonna be able to beat stuff like Cresselia, Melmetal, Togekiss, Articuno, Charizard in general. The thing about Stunfisk is there is no matchup really where you lose completely hard. Like even against a Swampert, you're gonna be able to get at least to an Earthquake. And yeah, there's not a lot of matchup that you lose pretty hard. I think Swampert is the worst. But even against Giratina, you have some play because you can resist the Dragon type moves. And in general, Stunfisk, you need a fully XL version of that. For people who were above level 40 for like the last year, it was most likely pretty easy to get that thing. Other than that, yeah, you're definitely gonna face this thing a lot in the Open Ultra meta right now. So something you have to prepare for at least. The next Pokemon should also not be a big surprise to you. Gonna be Cresselia. You see that in Open Ultra League a lot of times. Still one of the best Pokemon in the meta, being able to KO Swampert with the Grass Knot. Even if you don't have Grass Knot, you can still use Future Sight and it's fine because Future Sight gives you a way better matchup against those Pokemon like Talonflame, which you're gonna see soon as well. So one of the best Pokemon. It's just good coverage. So bulky. It's I think the most bulkiest Pokemon there in the current league. It's just insane. So yeah, you kind of want that. You kind of really want that, especially if you don't have XL Pokemon. Cresselia is basically a must-have. It's really difficult to build teams without XL Pokemon anywhere in this league, but yeah, Cresselia is basically something you always have to have in there. Next up, we're gonna have Talonflame. Talonflame is ranked 4 on PvPoke, and in my opinion, it's the best Pokemon in the current meta, as you are able to basically counter Cresselia completely hard if people learn the standard moveset. You are able to counter Fairy types, which are really like everywhere there. Like you can counter Steel types, which is cool. In general, I don't think there's a single Pokemon that really wants to face a Talonflame. Like everything at least gets some damage from that thing. Brave Bird hurts like a truck. You need level 51 Talonflame, like level 50, level 51 depending on what you want to play. Level 50 is a Hundo, level 51 is like, I don't know, I think a 13 attack or something. So you need a good IV one as well. We had a C-Day for that, you need the C-Day move as well, but yeah, hopefully you have that already. The 5th Pokemon gonna be Giratina. Giratina in the altered form to be exact, also a really bulky Pokemon. But it seems like Giratina is one of the losers of the XL update. There are a lot of more Dark types now. A lot of more Pokemon that beat it. Like what Giratina basically still beats are the Pokemon that run XL before. And in general, Giratina is a very safe Pokemon. It's not the best Pokemon in general, I would say, anymore. Like you still have stuff that counters you, but it's really safe. There's like not a lot of Pokemon that hard counters you. So I think it lost a bit of viability with the XL, but it's still a really good Pokemon just because of the bulk and the good moveset. So and next up, we're gonna have 2 Pokemon that are kind of similar. So I put them together, which are gonna be the Umbreon and the Mandibuzz. Of course, Mandibuzz has a flying typing extra for that, which gives you some bonuses, some like negative things. and like it has aerial aids instead of the last resort, but in general, like we have two really bulky dark types, both need to be level 50 or level 51 if you want that. Both have really similar stats, both have like Snarl foul play combination, so they're basically doing the same thing, and they're like really bulky, really good in the current meta, especially against like Cresselia, the Giratina already showcased before, and they're just neutral against a lot of stuff, and they're really well to pair with a Talonflame. Next up, we're gonna have most likely the best non-legendary and non-XL Pokemon, which gonna be Swampert. Swampert is always really good in Ultra League. Also in Great League, it's really solid. It just has like such a good moveset, such a good typing in general. And yeah, this thing you are definitely you want to invest in, because also of the Ultra Premier Classic Cup, which is gonna come sooner or later. So you definitely need one for that anyway, so maybe you should try to invest in one if you haven't had that yet. You need the Community Day move Hydro Cannon though. Next up, we're gonna have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is like a new XL Pokemon, which should be okay to be available. I just pulled mine. We had like 3-4 events where we could get Ferro Seed Candy, and if you at least like distance traded them, you should be okay to get that thing. Gonna be a really good core breaker here in general with Flash Cannon Power Whip. The timing is phenomenal unless you face a fire type Pokemon, but if you have the right cover for that, you're gonna be really good with this Pokemon in general. The 9th Pokemon gonna be Alolan Ninetales. A Pokemon that you can really use in 2 different ways, as you have Powder Snow and Charm as an option. Both of them are fine. I think in Ultra League, Powder Snow is the preferred version, just because you cannot really get locked into the Stunfisk matchup, or because Powder Snow can actually win with that. So yeah, like Ninetales, you need XL again, a really good Pokemon, but XL is always like this barrier here, sadly. Number 10 gonna be Scrafty. Scrafty is such a bulky Pokemon in general. Scrafty in Ultra League. We need XL Cannon, of course, but this thing has the ability to completely sweep teams. You have Counter Foul Play, Power Punch. Unless you, like, if you don't face a Fairy type, you're fine. But you can bait them out basically. Having a Scrafty as a closer, I think, is the best position for that thing, but you can just Power Punch and go through the whole team with this thing. It's so amazing. The next one is like a new addition, which a lot of people might not have on their mind. It's gonna be Greedent. Greedent just got released basically. And this thing as an XL version is so good in Ultra League. You can counter Giratina easily, you can counter Swampert easily, you can counter Cresselia. This thing is basically a core breaker. It's super bulky, it's super spammy. It has really good coverage, has a stab move. Yeah, like this thing gonna be insane. It's a new Pokemon, so people don't really think about this most of the time, I guess. But yeah, you definitely should use it, especially in the beginning. Next up, we're gonna have Berserker, a really underrated Pokemon. I think like I used that a lot already before XL as well. Now it has some better boost with the XL update, but a Steel type where Shadow Claw, Close Combat, and Foul Play is always good. Basically, hard counters Cresselia, counters Giratina, has coverage for Registeel. I think it wins in 2 shields against Registeel, has coverage for Stunfisk. Basically, the only thing you really don't want to see is Swampert and Talonflame. If you can avoid that, you're fine. This thing is amazing. You just have to know how to use it and put it into the right matchups. Also, kinda new addition gonna be Pidgeot now, because last time it was banned last season. So now we have Feather Dance, Pidgeot, and I'm definitely gonna showcase that also on my channel. Gonna be very interesting how this is gonna be. I already poured up a shiny one, which has the best IVs, because I thought it would get unbanned last season. Now I have a Hundo, which I didn't power up, but hey, so is life. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna showcase this. It has a lot of good matchups. It's just really good. You have to see how good it really is in the game. Next up, we're gonna have Snorlax as one of the best non-XL say swap. It's basically a worse Greedent, but if you don't have Greedent, Snorlax is still fine. You still have the coverage for the Steel types. You still have like the Lick for the Cresselia. You have like Lick for Giratina. In general, this thing has still a lot of play right now. It's not as good as it was before when we haven't had XLs, but it is still decent as it can break those legendaries pretty easily. The rest is kind of difficult for Snorlax still, but it's definitely a Pokemon. If you have that already, you can still use that and gonna be good as a Saizo. Last but not least is Obstagoon coming in at rank 69, which is of course nice, but it should have been ranked way higher. This thing has a lot of potential against a lot of things, as this can basically beat Steel types, Ghost types, Psychic types, and is neutral against so many other Pokemon. And we have like Giratina, Cresselia in the meta. All of those you can kind of beat. I think Cresselia in the 2 sheets you can beat. It depends on the Moonblast, of course, and if they bait or not. But yeah, Obstagoon in general, best core breaker in this meta. You kind of always want to have them. I love playing this thing also as a safe swap with Gang Shot against Fairy types. It's so cool. I just like this thing a lot. And now we're already going into the example teams. Here we have Talonflame, Scrafty, and Umbreon. A really good core in general. You have an ABB line here again. Having Scrafty and Umbreon in the back is always good against the meta. You see how much Talonflame kind of wrecks in this meta in general. It's insane. You have coverage against everything. There's nothing really you can do wrong here, I think. Like, I don't see really a bigger weakness with this. Of course, you want to have Umbreon as a safe swap. You can also use something else, like, for example, Obstagoon with Gangshot as a safe swap. You kind of want to have something to get out the Fairy types. Of course, if you play against a double Charm team, it's a bit tricky, but other than that, like, this team can get out the Fairy types, farm down with Talonflame, have Brave Bird to get shields back, and Scrafty can just deal with everything in the back basically at the end. So this team is really strong. I really like it. I think that's gonna be a really good team. The second team is the heavy damage team from Daniel Zaneri. I also gonna put a link to him in the description if I don't forget that, otherwise remind me please. But yeah, this is a team that he ran in Open Ultra for several seasons and hit Legend with. We have the Berserker, we have the Armored Mewtwo as a safe swap, and we have a Gengar in the back. You can also use something like a Machamp in the back with this team, which also works fine and gives you a bit more coverage against things like Stunfisk. So this team is really, really strong. Giving a shout out to another content creator who does this, because I'm not really that familiar with the Open Ultra League, so having a team where I can already say it's definitely really good is pretty nice. So yeah, I can recommend this team. I heard other people had Legend with this team as well. It's definitely a good team. Team number 3 gonna be a very similar team to team number 1. We have Talonflame lead again. We have Obstagoon now in the back, which is a bit more accessible and also really, really good. And we have Greedent as a safe swap. I thought about, okay, what team can I use Greedent in? I really want to have a Greedent team to showcase later on. And I think this team might be really good. I think I'm gonna give that team a try later on in the season as well. We have to see. But I think this team has a lot of potential. Here you see Lugia, Deoxys Defense, you still have answers to both of them kinda-ish. So this should be all fine, and I think this team might be really, really cool to use. Especially Green, gonna be a lot of fun because it's so bulky and so good. Team number 4 looks a bit interesting. This is a triple legendary team which doesn't require the XL candy. I played a similar team but with Melmetal in the lead before. I can recommend you that as well if you need a different option. It doesn't look that good on paper, but it's definitely not that bad as it looked like here right now. Because a lot of Pokemon have a really neutral matchup against those things. Maybe the Melmetal is even a bit better against like Stunfisk and Talonflame. That is something that you have to decide, but I think in general this team can work pretty well. I played the last season and it worked for me really well as well, and yeah, the meta didn't really change over the last season, so I think this team is still something that's viable. Of course, you have like those OG Pokemon like Registeel, Cresselia, Giratina, all of them are basically in Open Ultra League for the first season already, so yeah, definitely a really bulky legendary team if you don't really have XL candy. But yeah, it's also still not really accessible. Into the final team, we're gonna have Pidgeot in the lead here now. In addition to the general meta here, and we have Politoed as a safe swap. I would recommend you to go for Blizzard. I elite mine to Earthquake. I think I'm gonna go back to Blizzard. I don't see any play for Earthquake, to be honest. And we're gonna have the Swampert in the back here as the closer. Really good team. If you need more team ideas, you can go also on PvPoke. In the training tab, there is top performers, and there you also get like more teams that you can use for the Ultra League. So always a good resource as well, PvPoke, top performers under the train tab. And yeah, in general, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks all for watching. And also for the completely random question for this video, what's your favorite color? Mine is blue. So say your color in the comment section, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.